Hi. Hi,
What's going
Taigo.
on? Hello, hello.
Happy Tuesday again, DJ.
It
All
seems
right.
like a few days ago, but yeah, happy
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Oh, Janine is in the house. Kanyohe in the house. We have our 8th episode of HUOA's Yuntaku Live series today. My name is Lynn Miyahira. I'm your HUOA president this year. And hosting with me is David Jones.
Hello, guys.
He
Different
is the
location today.
yeah. So David is actually at the Okinawa Center.
Yeah,
Woo! Probably
Okinawa's
first
different
time you were
background
there.
today. And we actually,
In a
our,
long
our
time.
special guest is going to be performing downstairs in the Chaya with her student. But just to let you know, we're at the Okinawa Center, but it is officially publicly closed. But it was just a slightly more convenient location for
Oh
our
yeah,
guests. So
that's right.
yeah.
I have a light. John reminded me to turn on my light. Thank you. So yes, we're super excited. We are, like DJ said, we are testing things out, trying things new. They're still being socially distant. Yes, right?
Very.
Upstairs and downstairs
I'm
right now.
upstairs, they're downstairs.
So
And actually, just to let you know, John Itomura is actually helping out doing all the behind the scenes technical work and sound. So thank you, John Itomura.
thank you, John. Okay, so we have a really packed show today. So let's get started. Again, we want to make sure that everyone knows that our Hawaii Okinawa community is still, we want to make sure that we still connect with people. So make sure you like and subscribe to our Facebook page and our YouTube page. And this is where we're going to keep sending content out. I'm pretty sure we're going to use this a lot this year. So, nah. And we did send out Purple Blast, which is our email newsletter. If you would like to sign up for that, you can always go to our HUOA.org website and click on, there's on the upper right corner, it says sign up for Purple Blast. And you can sign up for it there. But yeah.
Let me find it.
Yeah, it's our email newsletter. We are getting better at sending it out a little bit more regularly now. And on the website, yeah, so this is what it looks like. We'll give some information about upcoming events, how you can watch our Yuntaku Live. We are also playing our these episodes on Olelo TV on our Hawaii Okinawa Today time slot. So thank you to our Hawaii Okinawa Today video crew. We call them the hot video crew, and they're helping us get these videos even to a wider audience now. So our first 2 episodes, I think, have already played. Yeah?
Yep.
And so you get to put it on repeat. If you missed it the first time, you can always come back to YouTube or Facebook to watch us. Or now you can tell your, aunties, uncles, grandma, grandpa who watch. We have a loyal following of our Hawaii Okinawa Today show. Yeah. And they can watch it there too now. And that's channel 53. For those of you who have cable still. Channel 53, Olelo Community Media. Yes. We are still doing our Masks for All campaign. So what this is that we wanted to ask our community to make sure that they take photos of, we have some beautiful Okinawan fabrics, take photos of them with their masks on and send it in to us, just so we can show all the different types of masks that people are making. Some people make UH ones, they use their taikai aloha shirts, but we're just kind of getting a sense of all the different masks that are out there and how many our community has made. And we're not collecting masks per se. We just want you to give them away to people, if you are, to your friends, family, coworkers, neighbors, whoever might need them. Because I have a feeling we're going to be wearing masks outside in public for a very long time. Yep. Other news, we have our Uchinanchu annual from 2019 still available. Normally we would be selling these at our events that we have at the year. So we do have quite a few at the Okinawa Center. They're $10 each. You can order your copy online, or not yet. Actually, we're going to be using this as a test product for our online marketplace. But if you do want one now, you can call the Hawaii Okinawa Center at 676-5400. Or if you got this email newsletter, you click on the newsletter and there's a form on our website that will take you there. So,
okay.
Yep. I think that's pretty much it. We have a lot of other news that we share We're trying to share almost weekly, about weekly,
Yeah.
and about upcoming, Okinawan HUOA happenings. So
Also want to feature.
Mhm.
See, we're going to go to our HUOA page, and first off, the sign up for Purple Blast is right below the red donate button. It says sign up for Purple Blast. This is our HUOA webpage, so HUOA.org.
And what I wanted to feature today is that we do have a donate button on here. Can you circle that with your?
Yep.
There you go.
Can you
You
see?
go to our donate button. It's the red button in the upper right hand corner, and we give a little synopsis, and all you do is click right there. And you can, it's kind of like a tip jar now. So we really want to encourage our members. We want to thank everyone who's been watching our Yuntaku live show. And we encourage everyone to donate, it could be $5, $10, $20, or if your heart, if you are able to donate more, we really encourage you to keep donating to our cause so we can perpetuate, preserve, and promote Okinawan culture here in Hawaii. Super simple. Even if you don't have a PayPal account, you can still use this. You can use a debit card or credit card and just, follow the instructions online.
All right.
EJ, you can donate now.
Maybe in between the events, or the dance.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
And last but not least, I want to do a quick shout out to Jody Ching. She was our episode 4 guest here. And if you remember, she plays sanshin for Afusoryu. And she talked a little bit about her book. And just wanted to say, we saw a post from her saying that she just signed she found a publisher and signed her children's book, Ikigai. And so it's going to be, she's saying that we should, for those who pre-ordered, they should be coming before the end of the year. So we're very excited for her. So if you see her, please congratulate her. I'm very excited to get that book.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were really excited. I think many of us in the community all contributed to the pre-ordering. It was kind of a challenge, right? Like, hey, can we get 400 people? Can we get 600? Maybe we can get 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really looking forward to that book coming out. So congratulations,
she got
Jody.
1,300 orders in 1 month. That's amazing. So congratulations.
Yeah. You know what everyone's getting for Christmas, yeah.
Now, last but not least, so, on Yuntaku Live, we like to feature a small business here in Hawaii. And this week, we're going to be featuring Gochi Grill. So Gochi Grill, let me pull up the screen over here.
For those of you who haven't been there, it's downtown. It's one of my favorites, kind of go-to place. It has a varying schedule during COVID-19 right now, so it's best to kind of check either Facebook or their Yelp page or their Instagram page. Right now, it's 11 to 2. So really just a lunch spot, but really good stuff for, and they're also open Saturdays if you want to swing by Saturday. Mm-hmm. It's downtown Honolulu. For those of you who know where Remington College is, that building, it's the first floor. For those of the down crowd, you kind of know that area because it has a ton of food in that area. But it's a local Okinawan business owned by John Iha. He used to be the former executive chef at Hiroshi Eurasian Tapas. You guys remember that place?
Yeah. I miss it.
So yeah, they've only been there for 2 years now, but it's actually really popular. My office, actually, we order when we do like office lunches. We've done Gochi Grill a few times. They have nice bento boxes and it's easy to carry. And we have their meatloaf that was really good. The menchikatsu is also really good too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And actually, so this week, Thursday, so this week, they have a little bit of a sporadic schedule. So they only open Wednesday and Thursday for this week between 10 a.m. to 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Later on, John Iha was saying was that they're going to be open more on a regular schedule, so Monday through Friday. But for now, they're just Wednesday and Thursday. But this week, Thursday, is their 2-year anniversary. And so on Thursday, they're going to have a menchi katsu curry that's pictured over here. That's going to be the special. And then they're going to be giving out free dessert. And of course, they mentioned that supply limited. So, you make sure you want to go there early. But yeah, so Go say hi to John. Let's support the small businesses. There's still a lot of businesses there having a difficult time. So this is a great time
Yeah.
to support them. This is especially for the downtown crew
Yeah.
workers. Yeah.
For those of you who aren't downtown and want to go, the closest parking is probably Ali'i Place. That's across behind it, kind of in the off Alakea. So just pro tip.
And
Yeah.
And so the easiest way to find out what their specials and their varying hours at the moment is to go to their Facebook page or Instagram. They update pretty regularly. Yeah, and it's
Okay.
Gochi Grill, Gochi. It's Gochi from Gochiso Sama, apparently.
Ah, hi. I just realized that now. Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Johnny. Gochi Grill.
Okay. So now that we are gonna bring on our special guest today, we have Allison Yanagi she's a sensei, and she has two affiliations: the Azama Honryu, Allison Yanagi Ryubu Kenkyu Sho. Short, we call it Azama Honryu, and then the Nomura Ryu Dentou Ongaku Kyokai Hawaii Shibu. For short, we say Deng-on.
Deng-on. Very, very, very honored and happy to have her. She's very talented. So let's see if she's online.
Are they ready?
Hey, Allison Sensei.
Hello. Thank you for allowing me to be on tonight. Thank you.
Well, we're super excited to have you. And I know this was it's been tough, right? I know you guys haven't been able to practice normally, but I'm sure everyone's just adapting as best as they can.
Exactly. Yeah, we've been doing our best to use technology, or after the restrictions on COVID have been kind of loosened, we've been slowly trying to get back into lessons and things like that. But yeah, it really did stall quite a bit. But everybody has had to adjust, so that's just the plan now, right? Yep. Just do the best.
Yep, doing our best. Everyone's kind of doing it on the fly, figuring it out as we go along. So very good. Well, can we just jump right in? Because I want to ask you. So, I know you've been involved in Okinawa. I mean, as long as I've known you, you've always been involved in Okinawan stuff. But really, what inspired you to get started in Okinawan music and dance?
So my grandmother, Haruko Kanishiro, she loved Okinawan performing arts. And my mom remembers taking her to McKinley and Farrington for all kinds of performances. And, I used to go with my mom because, as an only child, I would just tag along with my mom, and wherever my mom goes, I go with her. And so whenever my grandmother wanted to go to a performance, my mom and my aunties would take her. And so I would just kind of go along. And I remember one day, my grandmother used to take lessons from Ikehara Sensei, and she was practicing something. And so she was sitting on the ground playing, and I was watching her. And I remember seeing this piece of paper with all kinds of kanji on it, but I really didn't know what it meant. And so I asked her what she was doing. And so she was trying to teach me. And I was slowly trying to figure out what she was doing. At the time, I didn't realize it, but she was teaching me the introduction, the utamuchi for Kaja de Fu. So there was no singing. I was just playing the individual notes, and Grandma got kind of excited about it, and she was like, "Oh, you should play. And I immediately put the sanshin aside because my thought was, only old futs play sanshin. I'm not going to do it. So I was, I think, about 14 at the time. And so for a number of years after that, I continued to watch her, and she participated in the 90th anniversary celebration that happened at Neil Blaisdell. That was huge. I mean,
Live, I think, it was called.
Yeah, I mean, that was like the biggest thing, and that was the first time I remember seeing performers from Okinawa, and I was really impressed, but not really impressed enough to participate. But I realized, okay, I guess it's not just old futs anymore, because you saw koto players and dancers, and it was a whole range of ages. And so that kind of piqued my interest. And then one day, this was the Okinawa Festival in 1991, I believe. And I was watching the entertainment, and I recognized someone from my high school. And I was so shocked because I didn't know anyone who did performing arts, especially not someone my age. And so the next day at school, I went up to her and I said, wow, I didn't know you performed. She goes, oh yeah, it's really fun. And she at the time was with a dance group. And so she was there at school trying to like teach me foot movements. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's great. And just to kind of make her stop, I said, maybe if I'm interested in college, I might look into it. But that was kind of a lie at that time because I was really hoping to go away to the mainland for college and completely, avoid all this. Well, of course, the fates said that I'm going to stay in Hawaii. So I stayed in Hawaii. And I really had my heart set on going to a mainland college. But I was in Hawaii. And so I found an exchange program to London. And I told my mom, I'm going to get as far away from here as I possibly can. So I went on that exchange program to London. And while I was there, I loved being in London. But I also really started to miss Hawaii. And so when I came home, I realized that I was meant to stay in Hawaii. And it was the summertime, and I was driving my mom crazy because I came home from Europe after summer school registration. And one day she tells me, weren't you going to take dance or something? And so I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. I kind of remember that was something I had said. So I inquired about dance lessons, and I had my first lesson, and I just loved it. And so it's ironic to think that all these years I was actively really, trying to avoid getting involved. But now it really has become my passion. So, I think it's just a matter of being ready when you're ready. So I have a lot to thank my grandmother for. But at the time, I was just so dead set on not doing it. But look at me now, right? So.
Oh, that's a great story. Actually, I had no idea. Like you had, I would imagine you as somebody who danced from the time they were 5 years old, right? Like, yeah.
Actually, I started when I was 19. I took my first lesson when I was 19. And that was dance. And then Naka Sensei had a class at a classical Okinawan music class. So that's how I got into sanshin. And then through the dojo, I met Norman Kaneshiro, and Norman at the time was looking for people who might be interested in learning other instruments. And so because I played orchestra in high school, I told him I'm really interested in that thing with the bow. I didn't even know what it was. I meant the fiddle thingy. And so so I started to learn Kucho, and I got really into it. And then at that time, I decided, okay, after I graduate from UH, I want to go to Okinawa. So I applied for the Kempi scholarship, and I luckily was accepted, and I went to Okinawa for that year. I came home so that I could renew my visa, and then I went back for an additional 10 months. Wow. So I was there for almost 2 years, and that was really a seminal time in my life. I think that really helped me to decide what I was going to do with my life, even though at the time I really didn't see a path or know how I was going to do it. I just kind of knew at the time that that's what I was going to do.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that story. I think it's really interesting how we all get involved in our own ways. There's no one way that everyone has gotten involved, and I think that's one of the great things about this show is we're getting the chance to really share your individual stories. I'm sure people have seen you perform all the time. People have even gone to your concert. You had a recital last year. They've seen you all over the place, but we don't get to really capture these stories. So thank you for sharing.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
Allison, for Azama, did you connect with Azama while you were in Okinawa?
Yes, I was in Okinawa, and I got an introduction to Azama Sumiko Sensei, who is the founder of our school. And she was really a woman of very few words. But, through her expressions and just through her body language, she really had a very strong presence. And so, she was kind enough to allow me to practice and learn with them for the year that I was there. And through her influence, she suggested that I start doing konkuru, these tests for classical arts. And while I was in Okinawa attending Geidai, it really opened my mind. It really blew my mind, because at Geidai, I saw people who were doing multiple disciplines. They were doing sanshin and taiko and HUOA and Kucho, and it was just amazing to see these talented people who could do multiple things. And I thought, wow, I want to do that too. And people were taking tests left and right. Every year, people were taking tests, and so I got the opportunity to do konkuru for all three of the disciplines that I do. And honestly, I just kind of fell in love with it. Not so much the taking the test part, but I really enjoyed the training, because you just learn so much. It's so intense, and you really just learn certain technical things that you never would understand by just kind of going leisurely or as a hobby to dance lessons. And for dance, sanshin as well as Kucho, it was that training opportunity that really got me hooked, because I just felt like I learned so much in such a short period of time. And then after I passed my first series of tests, I felt like, well, I started it, I got to finish it.
Now I got to keep going, right? Yeah.
So 20 years later, right? 20 years later, and at the time, I started like more than 20 years ago, and now more than 20 years later, I have one more test to do, but that really has been something that for me was a driving force, because ultimately I think my goal was I wanted to prove to myself that I was just as good as the Okinawa people. Those of us here in Hawaii were very lucky to have a lot of wonderful performance and exposure from the homeland. And, we're lucky enough to at least be close enough to travel to there, to visit family, meet relatives and things like that. And I just sort of felt like, okay, I started it, I got to finish it. And I think that really continues to be the driving force behind what I do. And even for my two children, as well as my students, but specifically for my son and my daughter, I want them to have that opportunity to go if that's what their passion is too. So, I feel like I hope there definitely is a sense of legacy there, and the future generations, the fifth, the sixth generations, to just let them know Okinawa is there. And if you want to go, you should check it out. You have family there. You have connections there.
That's great. That's great.
Thank you, Allison.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed at I couldn't imagine how hard it is to just study one discipline. To be able to study three disciplines and get your kyoshi is very impressive.
Thank you. I feel like each discipline has its special technicalities. It has its difficult aspects, but Okinawan performing arts is very synergistic. I do feel that part of the reason why I was able to do dance and sanshin was because when you dance, you learn the music, you hear it. So when you start playing sanshin, you're like, oh, I've heard this before.
Yeah, the familiarity, right?
Right. So once you can kind of attach yourself to a certain song, the sanshin comes along with the dance, and they both enhance each other. And then when I started to learn Kucho, with Kucho, you're playing not just the sanshin part, but you're following the singing part, and you're trying to interweave everything together. And so it just felt like it was a continuation of the things that I was learning. So, I try to encourage my students that if they want to, try as much as you can, do multiple disciplines. In the beginning, it might be hard, because that first, the first time you do anything, the first song you sing, the first dance you learn, that's always the hardest, because you're learning not just the song, you're learning how to learn. But, the more you hear, the more you see, it's, I think, a lot easier to put things together, piece it all together.
Okay. Well, we're excited to see you guys perform. I know we got a couple dances prepped for you tonight. So why don't we go ahead and introduce the first one?
Okay, the first dance that we're going to do is called Tida Nufa. I will be dancing with my daughter Adele. The song is sung by Kanako, Hatoma Kanako, who she and her family, the Hatoma family, performed at our variety show last year in November. And I got to know Kanako through Keishinkai, which is another group that I perform with. And she and I became friends. And we've known each other now for, oh my gosh, I think close to 15 years. And so, their family, they love to travel. They love to interact with people. They love to share their music. And so when we talked about doing this variety show, she told me, I'm going to sing this song, Tidanufa. And it was written and produced by China Sadawa. And she said, I want you to dance with Adele. And so the next dance that we but Adele and I choreographed together.
That's great. Well, I know, Allison, you got to get set up a little bit, so I'm going to take you offline for a little bit as you get ready.
Okay.
So real quick, Lynn, I wanted to show you Linda's comment. Maybe you can answer. She said, what would the 2020 book look like?
I don't know. I think maybe the 2020, every year, for people who don't know what she's talking about, it's the Uchinanchu Annual, what we call. It's like a yearbook, right? And what we've done in the past is that it's all of the photos from the Uchinanchu newsletter that we make every other month, and we put that into a book. So it's usually an event, you can see all the different events we've done. So, January, February, we had installation banquet, we had a few things, and then everything just got canceled after that, right? So maybe we're going to have to adapt and see. We still have photos from the newsletter. Maybe it'll be all masks. It's the photo of everyone wearing masks. But yeah, I think it's definitely going to be different from past years.
It'll be great to see what the different clubs are doing too. Yeah,
it's going to be a bunch of screenshots of DJ and I.
And masks. Well, I think Allison is ready now, so let's Tida Nufwa.
Yay!
That was
Good job,
very
Allison.
awesome. How
And
touching.
Adele, that was super awesome. So wasn't that cute?
That was so cute.
Thank you.
It's a mother-daughter combo. There you they are.
How's it going?
Good.
Hello.
Hi, Adele.
Hi.
How are you? That was so awesome to see you
I'm
dance.
good.
Can you tell us how old you are?
I'm 8 years old.
8. And what school do you go to?
I go to my school.
Mm-hmm. And how long have you been learning Okinawan dance? Since birth.
Probably. Wow.
Yeah,
Since
so
you're
3
5.
years.
That was very awesome. It was very
Good job,
touching,
Adele.
actually, to see both of you dancing together.
Yeah. It's great.
Well, thank you, Adele. I know we're going to be seeing you play sanshin in a little bit, or no, singing in a little bit, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Looking
Very
forward
good.
to it.
Okay. For those of you who went to the variety show last year, I know Allison had a dance with it was like a mother and child combo dance. It was so cute. That was like just really, really, really touching. So
Thank you.
good job, guys.
Yeah, we really want to kind of emphasize the variety, because we always want to do a variety of things, and I always feel like I'm wanting to do a variety of things, but definitely the family aspect, because anytime you do something cultural, and especially here for our Okinawan community, we need our families, we need our extended families, and people are always so wonderful to volunteer and help and kokua. And anytime you do a concert, it's not just the performers on stage. Obviously, they're very important, because there's no performance without the performance on stage, but there's always a host of friends, family, supporters who make it happen. So that's definitely our family, our extended family, not just the performers on stage, with who is our family as well too, but the family goes beyond that. You have husbands, wives, moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas, everybody pitching in to make it happen. So it really was a family effort. Everybody did something to make it happen.
Well, thank you.
Great, thank
Good
you.
job again.
And
With all the applause that we have,
and I believe the next song will be Menu Hama.
Yes.
Allison Sensei, would you mind explaining a little bit about the song?
Okay, sure. The next song is Menuhama. This is a classical male dance, Nisei Udui. So Nisei refers to a young man, somebody in their teens, probably up until about 20 or 21. And it's a male dance. And this particular dance, Menuhama means basically, by the beach, in front of the villages. And it's a celebratory song because somebody has returned from a long, arduous trip. And so the outfit is the traveling outfit. It's the person coming back from the journey, but the dance is about the celebration, the happiness that everybody feels at their return, because way back when, all the travels were done by boat, and you never knew if you were going to encounter a storm or pirates or all kinds of problems out there. And so it's the celebration of someone safely returning and seeing your loved one again. Menuhama.
Hama. Okay, as she gets prepared.
Yep.
Hello, Donna. How are you? Good to see you in the show from Wahiwa.
Wahiwa. Let's see. We had other people from SoCal on here today. Of course, we have our usual crew. I'm going to call you guys the usual crew. We got Bev and Mililani, Linda. We got Jason Raquino from San Jose, California. So thank you. And welcome.
Looks like Allison is ready.
June, Naomi, yep, Christina, George Martels. George, are you in LA?
I believe so, yeah, LA.
Yeah, I think he's watching from LA.
Well, Allison is ready. So Menuhama.
花のまぎ 足拍子手拍子落ち林踊りはに足もりさ夜泣き聞きだやあがらんよたしゃイエスでそういみなんのちまりんおよえしゃびらあすり足拍子手拍子落ち林思いはに足もりさ
Hey,
Very nice.
very
That was
good.
Aaron, yeah.
Aaron Pie.
Aaron, can we speak to you?
Hey. There you go.
That was very nice. That was an awesome dance.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you guys so much for getting ready. I know like it's a lot of work. Trust me, you guys. It's a lot of work getting ready, putting the makeup on, all of that. So I really wanted to first tell you thank you for that. But tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. My name is Aaron Pai. I'm 17 years old. I'm gonna be 18 in October. I just graduated from Mililani High School.
Oh,
That's so exciting.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Here, huh?
I guess I've been dancing for 4 years, so I've been dancing for as long as I've been in high school. I just realized that when I was waiting to dance. That's kind of exciting.
Nice.
Very nice.
Very
Now,
good.
If I remember, Manu Hama is part of the testing. Are you practicing for testing?
Yes, so I passed the Shinjin Show test in 2018, and I want to take the Yushi Show test in 2021.
Wow.
So we're hoping Manu Hama is my test dance since it's chosen at random because I've been practicing that one longer.
Yeah, you just gotta pray, like, oh yeah, pray. That one, right? Yeah. Really good, very good. Yeah, but you gotta practice all of them, right? So that's what's tough about it.
Yeah.
Chibario. You can do it.
Oh, but
Just
thank you
around the
so much.
corner next year.
Okay, sorry, this is a really random question, but a lot of us have watched you grow over the years, right? As you dance. So how tall are you?
I keep telling people 5'8", but my friends say I'm 5'7".
Okay, so 5'8", 5'7",
I'm
whatever.
not quite so sure.
It's funny when you stand next to the rest of us short uchinan. You know what I mean? Like we're most of us. Oh, well, thanks, Aaron, for
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you so much.
Hey.
And Chibario for your testing.
Yes, very good, very good.
I believe they're going to be.
So if you guys could tell, that was like Ali said, it was a men's dance. So the movements are a little bit different. Clearly, the costuming is different. The way you carry yourself a little bit different. Hey, there's John. The way you wear your hair is different. Usually, the makeup is different if they have time to change in between. So, yeah. But it's really good to see our young people get involved. Like, I think that's why we put a lot of emphasis on performing arts, because it is a way that we get our young people involved. Some of them slightly begrudgingly, like when I was 6 years old and I had to take dance. But you know what? I'm really, really, really glad I did it, right? Because, I thought it was fun. It was okay, but you don't realize how much you're learning at the time. And there's all these things that you take away and you really only realize until later. But that's what I'm hoping. I'm so glad to see, all the the young people getting involved.
Yes.
We got a quick question. Where is this location from Kioni? They're filming at the Hawaii Okinawa Center. Actually, well, that's where DJ is.
Not the main building, but the office building right next to, or right across from it. Actually, if you ever have a chance to visit, you should visit because right where they're performing. Well, not right now. We're actually closed to the public, but they have a very nice kind of a mini museum of the plantation times, and it's very interesting. We have quite the collection. It's in Waipahu, Middle Oahu. So please come visit us sometime. You can meet John if you haven't.
Yeah, you can meet John. He's holding down the fort. Yeah. So that's why you see them. If you kind of tell in the background, for those of you, we have, I don't know if a mannequin, like a mannequin, right? From the plantation.
Yeah.
That's there with the satokibi, the sugar cane, and so that is kind of harking back to those days, but that's why it's there. So if you can see it in the frame,
you'll see it on the left-hand side.
Yeah, you can see it on the left-hand side of the screen. But behind the shoji screen, there's a bunch of different artifacts. There's some, a lot of ryukyu lacquerware, glassware, karate. We have little stones that each of the shichoson, the city, towns, and villages all sent a rock with their name on it. So that's also back there with our Okinawa map, and we have some plantation games and all of that. So.
Yep, very cool place. And if you need to know anything about Hawaii or Okinawa, Hawaii, John's a great person to ask too. He's a wealth of knowledge.
Yes.
Yep.
So we have Bonnie there who can take you on tours, but right now, because we're kind of closed to the public due to COVID-19, we're not exactly sure when we're going to open back up to the public, but we shall keep you posted. Yep.
Start. I think they're ready now.
Okay, they're ready.
Let's see.
Hey.
Hello, Allison and Adele.
There
I see that you guys are gearing up to play the sanshin.
All right.
Would you mind explaining what song you guys will be playing?
Sure. The next song we'll be singing together, is called Mashunku Bushi. And Mashunku is the name of a girl. This song is originally from Ie Island, Iejima, which is very close to Motobu. And Mashunku is a young girl, very young, active girl, probably in her early to mid-teens. And she has a friend named Nabi. Unfortunately, in the song, they talk about how pretty Nabi is, not Mashunku. So it's kind of funny when you think about what people sing about. But really, the song is a love song about these young girls who, when they get together, they talk about their boyfriends, and they, they have their talk story time and stuff like that. That's Mashunku Bushi, which we'd like to sing for you next.
Yay. Okay.
Hi. Sorry. Let's do it one more time, okay? Ready? Hi.
Hey.
Very good. Well, thank you.
Sugoi.
So talented. Okay.
And it was Adele and Allison singing together. Yeah.
And the next song we'd like to do, we'd like to feature Adele. And she's going to sing Mimeoroboshi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mimeoroboshi, mi as in 1, 2, 3, ichi, ni. Well, in Okinawan, the counting is ti, chi, ta, chi, mi, chi, mi. So Mimura refers to 3 villages. And each verse, there are 3 villages that specialize in something. Like in the first verse, they talk about Oroku and Tomigusku and Kaki no Hana. Kaki no Hana now is actually a part of Naha. It's not necessarily always recognized as its own village, but those 3 villages were very well known for weaving. So the first verse is about those three villages, and it's telling the young girls who are weaving, don't talk and don't fool around because you might screw up your weaving and it's going to be a real waste. The second verse is about Ue Tomai or Tomari, where they have the piers now, Tomari. There are 3 sections of Tomari now, and these places, because it's along the shoreline, this area used to be known for making salt. And so this song, that verse is about telling all the men and the women who go out there to make the salt, don't dilly-dally and don't fool around because you're making salt, but if it starts raining, it's all going to be a waste. So each of the verses features 3 specific villages that specialize in some sort of craft or some sort of special product making, like making sake, selling fish, weaving. And the whole song is about be diligent and make sure that your hard work becomes productive. Okay? Mimeoroboshi. 歌持ちね。
Yay.
Adele, it's so
Great.
good. Wow, that was awesome. 上等ね、本当に。
Thank you.
Very nice.
Adele, can I ask you? So how is it How is it having your mom as a sensei?
It's nice having my mom as a teacher.
Oh,
That's she's so
厳しいんじゃ
adult,
ない?
yeah. She's 8 going on 18, guys. Yeah. She's such a little adult. If you guys ever met Adele, you know, she's a little, you know, adult. Anyway, thank you so much, Adele. We got lots of comments on how we're so impressed with you. Good
Very
job.
impressed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Allison Sensei. So I know you're part of Nidaime Teishinkai Hawaii Shibu,
Yes.
and you're also a sensei for sanshin in Nomura Dentou Ongaku Kyokai Hawaii Shibu.
Yes.
How long have you been in the organization, and is this the same Nomura as Keith and Norman? Curious.
So actually, in Okinawa, there are 3 distinct Nomura organizations. They've kind of, different groups have splintered off at different times, and actually, we all sing the same music. So even though we have different organizations, theoretically, and actually, it's when we do get together, the singing matches. So it's just different organization group, but it's the same music, and it comes from the same origin.
Oh, got it. Very interesting.
Very good. Thank you for sharing. I know that was exciting for us to see. You know, not just you, but also like the next generation is also learning the music, and I'm sure she's got it all in her head, and it'll last with her for a long time.
Actually, I feel really lucky that she wants to do it. You know, if she were me fighting it because all the old futs do it and nobody else does it, I think I'd get really upset and probably very depressed. But you know, this is really something that I appreciate because this is something special that I can do with her. So as long as we can do it together, I think we'll definitely want to continue learning more and learning together. Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah. Is this a good time to bring up the book or later?
Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
We'd love to hear about the book.
Oh, okay. Gosh, you know, so Jody, Lynette Teruya and Jody Tomasa Ching and I, the 3 of us got together and we put together a book to celebrate and commemorate this year, which is the 120th anniversary of Okinawan immigration. This was a project that Lynette had come up with, and she was very passionate about it. And Jody and I, we definitely wanted to become a part of this because all 3 of us believe that all of us have a story. In the same way that Yuntaku has shown that all of their guests have a different story, they've had a different path. We've all had different reasons why we've done this, why we've done that. Same thing with our Okinawan community here in Hawaii. We all have a different sense of identity, but for some reason, this Uchinanchu identity continues to thrive here in Hawaii. And as one of the larger cultural groups in Hawaii, I think the HUOA is living proof that our forefathers have instilled in us a very strong identity and sense of being Okinawan, even though we may all have different definitions or ideas of what it means to be Okinawan. And so this volume was a means for us to express that and to hopefully get the voice of people who usually would not tell their story. You know, I think for a lot of us, we've been ingrained that, oh, I'm not a writer. You know, writers are people who are journalists or they publish books or they, you know, like Jody has, you know, published a book. You know, that's a writer. I'm not a writer. I just tell a story and I just, you know, voila. But, you know, we all have stories. And what's interesting is we all have different stories that allow us to see the differences in the variety that we can thrive on, but we all have stories that we all can really grasp onto because we can all say, oh yeah, my family was like that too. And so the book has been a wonderful adventure in just making connections with people and hearing other people's stories. And so thank you for bringing it up. We've been doing very well. In fact, we've sold out. So
so this is a special
Wow.
copy.
thank you very much for it. But yeah, it was definitely a labor of love, and I think the three of us are very happy to have done it. And thank you to all the people who submitted their stories and were willing to share their stories and their art. And we had a variety of things. Scotty Moriyama provided the artwork for the cover as well as art inside. We had someone from Kauai who shared her stories. We had a playwright from Big Island who gave us excerpts of her play. And then, everybody had stories, like Fortunen had his stories about the funeral club. That was wonderful. And what I love about Ford's story is that he writes how he talks. So you really get this very flavorful,
right?
Yeah, you can hear him talk, and it's wonderful. And we try to edit as little as possible to maintain that voice. And so thank you to everyone who submitted. Of course, thank you to everyone who purchased the book, because nobody writes a book so that nobody reads it, right? Thank you very much for everybody who's been supportive, and thank you just to the community, because if there wasn't a community, there'd be nothing to write about. So we just wanted this to be a celebration of our community and the fact that our community still thrives 120 years later.
Very good.
Great. By chance, I know you mentioned it's sold out. Any chance, I'm sure the viewers wondering if they can buy a copy somewhere? Or...
like I said, we have sold out. But, a number of people have asked us for reprints or the possibility of reprints. We're looking into it. We do want it to be cost effective. And
right. So I'm sure there's a minimum.
Right. And this was a self-publishing effort. So, we can't make any promises because we really don't know what we're going to do. But I'm one, we've been discussing it. People have voiced their interest and disappointment that, more are not available. So if you check we have a we have a Facebook page, hi.uchinanchu1900, I believe. And if you check that out, you can always write to us and let us know if you're interested in it. And I think that might help us to come to a decision as to whether or not we'll do it, and if so, how much, and things like that. I think we just want to make sure that if we do it, it's going to support itself.
Yeah, there has to be a minimum. Okay. Well, if you are interested, maybe we'll have to start a waiting list and see if we can make the minimum, right? And then we'll see. No promises though, right? Okay.
Right. But we are very happy that people have shown so much interest. So again, thank you very much. Thanks.
So thank you for putting it together. I know it was a lot of work.
Thank you. I'm very interested for your next performance, Allison. You're so not only do you do dance, do you play sanshin, you're also an instructor for Kucho.
Yes.
And it's very exciting because Kucho, you rarely see Kucho featured by itself. It's usually, typically, in many cases, it's complementary to the sanshin and taiko together. You hardly ever see it together by itself.
Yeah.
And you're going to be featuring the Kucho today.
Yes. So let me, if it's okay, I'd like to go and prepare for that, and then.
Okay, we'll let you go. We'll go.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Adele, too. So we'll let her set up a little bit, and we'll kind of introduce the instrument. It's one of the lesser known instruments, especially for Okinawan classical music. So we're excited to bring it to Yuntaku Live. I think it's the first time, right? I mean, you may have.
First time for the Kucho, but I
Yeah.
think first time that we were featuring like 3 different arts in one show too.
Yeah, there you
Right,
go.
sanshin and dance and from talking to Allison earlier, she had mentioned that typically Kucho. She'll probably talk about this later, but Kucho is something that you learn after sanshin. You have to master the sanshin first, and then you're able to do the Kucho. But apparently, she's done the Kucho first and learned sanshin later. So it'd be interesting to hear a little bit about that. Yeah.
Very
But
good.
I'm sure she's going to talk a little bit more about it. She's going to be doing a very interesting take on the Kucho, and so I'm excited to hear a little bit more about it. And I think she's ready.
All right, let's see.
Hi, Allison Sensei. How's it going?
Good, and thank you again for allowing me to feature Kucho, because like David said, I think there's a lot of people who think that Kucho is a
John, can I hear that?
instrument, not a main featured instrument. And so I hope to kind of shift that thinking a little bit, and really just try to make Kucho a little bit more prevalent and more accessible to people. So this is a great opportunity, actually.
Thank you.
And Allison, you're going to be doing an interesting take on a very well-known song. Would you mind explaining kind of the inspiration or the background behind what you'll be playing?
Sure. Last year, a very dear friend passed away. Her name was Toshiko Nakamoto. Mrs. Nakamoto was like a bon dance buddy. Anytime Nidaime used to go somewhere for bon dance, she would come and dance with us. And she was such a gentle spirit and such a kind and giving person. And so when she passed away, I was shocked. I didn't even know that she was ill, but her family contacted me, and because Mrs. Nakamoto was Christian, they wanted to have Christian songs at her funeral. But because she loved Okinawan performing arts and culture so much, they wanted to have an Okinawan flair. So they asked me if I could play Amazing Grace using an Okinawan instrument, and I had never done that before. So it was really, it was a challenge to not only do it, but even to get myself into a place where I would feel confident doing it, because, I wanted to make sure that I paid my respects to Mrs. Nakamoto and her family, and it was just, I just felt so gratified and appreciative that they asked me. So I did. I played Kucho, and we played Amazing Grace, and the whole congregation sang with the Kucho, and it was I'm not Christian, I don't go to church per se, but it was a very spiritual experience, because it just really felt, again, connection, with the song, and I felt, and again too, like I said, so that for people to be able to hear the instrument, when a lot of times people don't know it's there, they don't know what it sounds like, that was a really wonderful opportunity. So what I'd like to play is Kucho playing the Queen's Prayer and Amazing Grace.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow, such a beautiful sound.
Wow, that was. I think because this is one of the lesser knowns, can you show us up a little bit up close what it looks like?
Sure, sure. Okay, well, let me start with the bow because the bow is a little bit easier to handle. So the bow, it's bow that I use. It's made out of bamboo. It's I think maybe about 2.5 feet long, and the hair is horsehair. So it's just like a violin bow.
Yeah, because it sounds similar to a violin. Yeah.
And the way that you hold it is you would stick your finger in here, over here, and that controls the tension of the hair, so that when you play it against the string, you actually have enough friction to create a sound. Yeah. Let me put this down here, and then this is just a little thing I stick on so that I can actually sit down on a chair, because usually if not, I would be sitting on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the Kucho, excuse me. The length of the Kucho from top to bottom is exactly the same as the sanshin. So it's not, even though it's smaller, this part is smaller, this drum part is smaller. The length of the wood is exactly the same as the sanshin. So it's not as though it's any, I think, lesser in terms of, weight or size or things like that. Traditionally, sanshin, the Kucho kind of evolved from a sanshin, but it was mimicked after a Chinese erhu chain. So it started off as a sanshin, but then they thought, oh, check out those Chinese guys. They're using a bow. Let's do that.
Chinese classical music, you'll hear the similarity.
Exactly. And so because it came from a sanshin, the original Kucho were 3-string. Because the Kucho in classical music is supposed to follow the singing line, the singing melody, there are times in classical music where the voice goes below the lowest sound that the sanshin can play. And so they added on this string over here, this lowest string, in order to mimic that vocal line that goes below the sanshin sound. And then most recently, this is a 5-string Kucho, so they added this top string for sounds that go beyond just this position. There's some songs such as Tachi Utushi, Tachi Utushi, where on the sanshin you actually shift downwards. So with this Kucho, the 5th Kucho, you actually have a higher string to allow you access to those notes without having to shift, because as you notice, the Kucho is not held on by anything. It's a spike fiddle. So it stands up of its own accord. So if you let go of it, it would fall down. So that makes shifting a little bit difficult. So my sensei, who came up with this 5th string, his name is Arashiro Seiko Sensei. Our school uses a 5-string Kucho. So it's very much like a sanshin. There is a rounded bridge. If you look at it from this way, there is a rounded bridge over here, so that as you turn, you're supposed to turn the Kucho this way, and that will allow the bow to hit one string at a time.
I see.
Yeah,
well,
and
fascinating. Fascinating.
Yeah, so it is very similar to a violin. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. I know I've seen you play it many times, but I've never, got to ask you questions about it. So.
I just love that sound. I'm glad I could hear it just by itself.
Yeah, because it's rarely ever by itself, right? It's usually a part of an orchestra type of,
Exactly. Yeah.
Quick question, Allison. So you mentioned you play an instrument that has 5 strings. What is a typical? How many strings in a typical Kucho?
I think the most popular are 3 to 4 strings. Probably the 4-string one has been the most utilized recently, but I have seen more and more people use the 5-string because of its ease of use. So, I think it really just depends upon the musician and, their sensei's recommendation and what how they learn to play. You know, everybody has their own style, and because Kucho follows the singing voice, it there's a lot of flexibility. There's a lot of leeway in playing Kucho. So a lot of it just has to do with what an individual's style is, and therefore how does the instrument lend to their style of playing.
That's great.
Well,
thank you very much for sharing.
It is really fascinating, actually. I think
Right.
it's one of the Okinawan instruments, like you said, we don't get to learn so much about. So thank you.
Allison Sensei, I hope you spread the love of Kucho and knowledge around here in Hawaii and future more performances by itself.
Right.
Well, thank you very much for having me on tonight. This was a really wonderful experience, and Adele was super excited that she's going to be on YouTube. And but for all of us, anytime we get a chance to share what we're learning, thank you for doing us the honor of allowing us to share with everyone. So I think this Yuntaku program is wonderful. I really hope it continues even after COVID or whatever.
I know. I
Certainly.
totally
I think so.
You guys definitely should keep doing it as long as it's possible to do so. And thank you to you guys. I mean, to do this every single week in the planning. And I'd like to give a shout out to John. John, come over here, please. So like I said, right, there's always the backstage support system. And today it was John and David came in on Sunday so that we could make sure all of this was going to happen. So it's not just a 1 hour, 2 hour thing on Tuesday. There's a lot of prep going on. So thank you to Lynn and David. What you guys are doing is amazing. This is taking out a lot of your time, and it's because of your passion and your dedication to our community that this happens. So thank you guys too.
Oh,
Thank you.
Everybody who comes on, it takes a lot of time and effort.
And to the guests and performers, I know a lot of practice go into this in preparation for this. So thank you.
I'm just glad we get to share these stories with our community and record them. Yeah. So Adele and Aaron, you guys want to say hello? Okay. Well, 本当にいっぺんにへいでいたんね。Thank you so much
Thank
for
you so much.
sharing your talents with us tonight.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. For those of you who who like our show, please donate. We are accepting donations online at HUOA.org. There's a little red button on top that says donate. And we appreciate the support so we can continue to offer programming. It's a difficult year. I think we're all going to be, tightening our belts a bit. So we appreciate, for those of you who can or in a position to do so, we appreciate the support. So, 本当にお疲れ様です。
Yeah, and thank you to all the supporters, our community members, club members, and especially the artists to make this community such a amazing place.
We really do have a rich
to share with the world.
history to hear. Yeah, to share. Thank you.
Well, thank
Yay.
you.
Thank you.
Another great episode.
Well, take care, everybody. Thank you, Allison Sensei, Adele, Erin. Bye, Lynn. Bye, everybody. Have a good night.